Okay, you want to learn a cool way to remember the foreign words that you're learning? Well, I use what is called a gold list to remember my Russian words. And to get started, all you need is a notebook, a nice big notebook, and 25 words that you want to learn. Let's have a look. So mine starts something like this, number 1 to 19 there, another few numbers on the other side, and so I've got 1 to 25, and when I'm walking along and I think, wonder what, like lane is in Russian, or sigh, or wave, when you wave to somebody. I want to know what they are, and I thought of them through the day, so I write them down. And when I get a full list of 25, I go back, open my dictionary, and write the Russian word here. So hopefully you'll end up with 25 words that you wanted to know in Russian, and you go to your dictionary and you find the appropriate Russian word, or what you hope is the right Russian word. You might need a Russian person, if you're learning Russian, to check that you got the right word. Or you might need an Aussie like me to make sure you got the right English word. Okay, so there's my 25 words. The next step is make a coffee, because you need coffee. Okay, if you're like me, your work is pretty messy. Mine started out pretty messy 1 year ago, okay? This is my first gold list. I wrote down my 25 words here, and the theory is that you write down your 25 words, and just by writing them, they are going into your memory. Now when you've finished writing them, you just close the book and you leave it. You come back, say about a month later, and you write down 1 to 17, and you decide which of the 25 you least remember. And your top 8 words that you remember the easiest: yogurt, I remember yogurt, so I cross it off. And I choose 8 that I remember easily. And then the rest of them, there should be 17 left, transfer them to this new list. So, is that making sense so far? Good. It's quite easy. All you're doing is writing down words, putting them into your short-term memory, and coming back in a month to see which ones have gone into your long-term memory. Easy. Okay, a little while later we come back, and from this list we take out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 that I easily remember, and transfer the remaining 9 over to our final list underneath the original 25. We do it this way because it fits like that. You couldn't fit these 12 here, or you couldn't fit these 17 here. So it works better like this. That's why you need a double page for one gold list. Okay, so let's just focus on getting that far for the first few months. And when you get to that point, that's when you start writing the remaining words that you just can't remember into another book, a smaller book. Okay, so as you can see, my messy work continues, and I've continued writing out gold lists and distilling them. We have the original gold list. We call this the first distillation. This one is the second distillation, and this one is the third distillation. So that's the idea. Just keep writing them out and seeing how many remain in your memory. As you can see, I've got some blank spots here. I have to come back to some of these lists and continue distilling them. So, if I go ahead back to my original page, this is where I'm going to take my notebook, find those original 25 that I want to turn into a gold list, start writing them down with a Russian translation on this side. And hopefully, by writing them out, in a month's time, I will have remembered some of them. So if you like how the gold list method works, good, you can start using it. I've just showed you a little bit of how I use it, but it's quite technical. If you want to see how the whole thing works, there's a website. The dude that invented the gold list is called Uncle Davey. I don't think that's his real name. But anyway, he's got a website. You can go to goldlist.eu and you'll end up at this page here. Okay, and it's Huliganov TV. There's a picture of his Spanish gold list. This guy knows lots of languages. But there's his Spanish one. Now, this isn't quite the page with all the instructions, but if you go down the side here, I see there's a page there called Gold List Methodology. Click on that and you'll get a bunch of instructions which are quite boring, but if you've got patience and you read them, you'll understand the complete workings of the gold list method by Uncle Davey. Okay, that's all the information there. I hope you've got some time to read it, because it works quite well. It's not the only way to remember foreign words, but it's quite a good one. I combine it with lots of other things like flashcards, just writing out sentences, all kinds of practice. But try the gold list method.